There we go. Right. Just going to confirm it's working. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are live in Japan for SFRL for the second race of the season. We have 12 at the moment, but 13 drivers. One should be joining in a couple of minutes. They've just been having a few joining late issues. But we should have a pretty good grid and hopefully enough drivers to score points. Of course, it is a sprint weekend. We were originally going to do 25%, but that would have literally taken us half an hour, and that would be no fun. So, here we have the Japanese qualifying. As you can see, DHL is the prime sponsor of the Japanese Grand Prix here with us. We have the 12 drivers lined up with a possible 11th coming in soon. And, well, we've got a few new faces on the grid, a few familiar faces, and a few faces who should be here but aren't here. So that's quite unfortunate. Someone is going out on the inters. I have a feeling we've got a few bits of mixed ideas going on. But, yeah. Got some drivers coming up the pit lane here. I believe that is Denny. You'll remember him from last weekend. One of the more dangerous, thinking of Hen, he's one of the more dangerous drivers on the field. So do keep your eyes on him. As well as that, we've got the new V-car driver of Sophie, the first female to take part in a race in this league. She'll be filling in for Hayden and his teammate, who is not active. We'll be seeing what she can do today. In front of her, we have Jakob, or Jacob. He's not confirmed to me which way he's going to say it. I'm going to play it safe and call him Jacob. As well, we've got the returning face of Afsik. We've got a new driver, Gold, and the Futures Orange, a.k.a. Dafu. As well as that, we've got Aspect. I'm pretty sure I just saw some spinning there, but that might have just been my imagination. We also got Aspect in the Aston Martin driver here, Finn, who's running a special livery on that kick salver. This is quite nice, that one. Rocky, who did make last weekend but was taken out in that incident, that one incident with Hen. The lap one incident with Hen, and we've got a Haas round. That would be Gold. He's still on the inside of the circuit. I think he's just giving way to people. Sways, of course, you know, middle as well. Bartek is another one of those drivers that you may be familiar with from last weekend. There's your weekend rundown so far. And these should be all the drivers. We may be getting one more. The second Aston Martin driver of SMX, depending on if his stuff decides to work or not, because that's been the tale of things. Park Ferme is on. I'm not too sure why, but Mido is apparently in. I have said that. Hello, Mido. Don't worry. Yeah, there's a few people starting their laps here. Sophie being the first. Gold's apparently lost his controller, and there's a slow Aston Martin through 130R. Luckily, that's all done. Sophie's abandoned the lap immediately. So we ride with Jacob here. I think that yellow flag is for people queuing up in the final corner, and Jacob spins! Tags the barrier, loses the end plate. So the first crash of the Japanese weekend has happened while we're watching him. Dafu there in the Alpine running through turn 1 on his lap. There's a lot of people starting their laps, and we've watched Finn there catching the gravel. There's all sorts of stuff kicking off here. There's a Red Bull off as well. Again, that would be Jacob and the Williams. Rocky going for a spin on the outlap. My oh my, the drivers are struggling here. And I think that's Finn off again, and we saw Rocky wide. Where is Rocky? There he is. He's almost found the barrier there. There's all sorts of mayhem going on at the moment. It'd be a miracle if anyone actually gets a clean lap out of this. Bartek might be one to get a clean lap out of this. He's kept it quite sturdy. I believe Denny as well. He might be one for a clean lap here as there's yellow flags out again. And I think there's for a driver letting others through. Yes, it is. So we won't penalise that. Unless it was for a slow Hass of Gold there. If it was for the slow Hass of Gold, which I don't think it is, that would be a huge shame. But we'll watch what Finn is able to do here. As we see Denny getting the fastest lap provisionally, as he's the first set out lap. Sophie a few seconds down there after abandoning her hot lap. Afsik right up there. Bartek faster than Afsik. So I think Afsik did a outlap just to familiarise himself with the extremities and the driving styles of those around him. Dafu does claim that fastest lap, and there are yellow flags on the main straight. I do believe that is just for people checking up on each other. So Dafu has the fastest lap. Rocky is going to be the most recent man to set a lap here. We can hope that he has a lot better time. Synth is here, Mr. SMX. He'll be the latest person to attempt to join. Of course, he's to join fully, goes to the spectate thing, claim the second Aston Martin. But we should see a 13-car field. Unlucky for some, but hopefully it'll be a lucky number to us here today. Sway's jumping up there to P6 with a 1:39. I'm expecting these lap times to be around where Dafu is currently sat, if not even faster. So, we'll see. Mido hasn't set a lap yet. He chose the pit lane during that whole initial lap squeamish. I think that was the safest thing to do, both on his tyres and his team's part. Blue flags the Alpine, keeping out the way of Rocky, who is on a push lap here. The beautiful circuit here in Suzuka, located some location in Japan. The first sprint of the season, so a lot more points run off for the drivers here today than there would be on a normal weekend. Sophie into the pit lane, so she won't be doing a double push. I think that's for the safety, as Afsik does go fastest by well over a second now. So that time's already falling. Finn goes faster as well than Dafu. Yellow flags on the main street for drivers and getting drivers through, I feel. You're going to have Rocky round the final corner. Across somebody's on with a nice slipstream. It's going to be P4 for Rocky. So provisionally, we'll see outlap here for Aspect, but the man on a mission right now is Mido. He had a really nice debut race. So did the other people who started last weekend's race. Unless you're Rocky being taken out on the first lap, which was a huge shame for him. But currently purple. I think it's purple for himself, if not purple of all, for the Mercedes driver there of Mido. Sways is the one to look out for as the session continues, as he should be shooting well up the order here. Bartek as well might have a really nice lap in store for us, which I'm hoping he does. But this race set to be the funnest race of all time. As I say that, Sways does jump up the order to P2. Could we see a Ferrari pole? We've seen SMX has joined us. Simp, as one of my friends called him. I'm not sure that's what we're meant to call him, but at the moment it looks like Mido could take that fastest lap here. So if you're a fan of Mercedes, I'd stick around for this weekend, or a fan of Ferrari, or even a fan of Audi Sauber. As someone has straight lined that final corner from the pit lane. Not too sure why. Across the line, Mido does go second. It's a very, very fast lap time from that driver, Rocky there. Not sure what he's doing, but Bartek goes across the line, doesn't improve, but I think he's going to go for a third push lap here on the soft. If not, he's going to the pit lane. Of course, Bartek here, last time he raced professionally in a league, it was ALR, and Bartek's into the wall heavily and losing the wing. The moment I mention ALR, the bad memory has come back and he goes into the wall. Of course, first weekend out, he did tie with his best results in ALR of a P4 finish, that being in the sprint. But that lap will not have helped Bartek in any means of the sense. That whole front wing has come off there. An unfortunate spin through the S's there. So, anyway, we jump to gold. We'll see here, he's fighting with one of the Aston Martins. I think that's Afsik on a lap. Aspect on a lap, sorry. Where gold does get through. I think he was let through more likely than getting through, but I think that's strategical. We've got the Alpine there and Dafu, who's 2 places in front, just leaving the pit lane there. I believe that's the V-carb of Sophie starting a push lap there, so we'll see what happens. Bartek's going to try his best to keep out the way of Sophie, although he is miles around the track. That would hinder Bartek. I feel it will take him a hot minute to come out again when he gets back to the pit lane. So, I can only hope he can try to get one more push lap in with the track not being too busy. But Sophie really flying through the S's there. She's well known in the roadblock space currently for Tank Chassis League called GTPC. Got to give her a shout out there. Really good race they had in Daytona. So, Chicken, one of the other people affiliated with that league, has joined fully. Now, I'm not too sure why there's a yellow flag in the first sector. it's for someone. I'm not too sure what's gone on there. But we continue on. Sophie here, still on a lap, 4 seconds up. Chicken, your other Alpine driver, he should be grabbing the final Alpine seat if he can get this very, very fast. Sophie here for a very blisteringly fast lap time. We've got 3 cars there in a kerfuffle. I think they're causing yellow. And Aspec gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision and retires from the session. So Aspec is definitely starting last there. Not quite sure what's wrong there, but Sophie goes fastest. The fastest female ever to enter the league, and the only female currently to enter the league, goes and sets the fastest possible pace she can. Lets Dafu through, and Asik has started a lap. I believe that's Rocky saying he's out and done here for now, unless he has crashed. Dafu out as well, so I think those two are the ones that have calmed themselves down. Synth jumps up to P8, so hopefully Chicken is in and can set a good lap there. Gold jumps up to P4, so this sprint race could be looking good. Sophie retires knowing she has the fastest lap. There's no point in staying out on track. If you're out, and there's the Red Bull making contact with Bartek there, so not quite sure what beef's going on between Jakub and Bartek there, but something really not nice. Afsip continuing on his lap. I believe this yellow flag could go away. I believe it's a group of glitched cars that's causing this. But if those yellows can go away, which they do, we can see there's less than a minute left. So whatever happens here will be deciding the grid. More yellows out for Denny there. But Afsik to the line. Can he go faster? No. He's going to have this 1 lap charge to try and go even faster. Chicken has finally joined. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to set a qualifying lap here, given the joining issues. I think Afsik has backed out there. As we can see the people who have officially finished. We see here Mido currently the man setting the pace. Sways is currently the one at risk of a bad qualifying position, so compared to what he was doing last weekend, he could actually be under threat here from somewhere around him. Finn saying he ran out of a ERS on the final corner, that's what cost him his lap, but Mido has gone purple there, so he's going to be the one to watch here as he crosses the line. He's going to be the last man to cross the line here. One of the drivers complaining about a few things, and across the line he goes second. So I doubt Aptic will be able to do another lap here. We'll see. He's 7 seconds down, so yeah, he falls into the pit lane. There's your qualifying grid. Afsik, of course, Aspec will of course be starting last, but Sway is saying he can't get the first sector down, which is what's causing him the problem. So straight into the sprint race is where we're going next. We'll see. I've also just realised this stream is under the wrong title. Oh, I didn't realise that we had Joseph in the live chat. Hello, Joseph. You should have told me you were here. Ignore the title, it's completely wrong. That's not the name of the league. There is your qualifying order. Chicken didn't set a lap, unfortunately, due to joining the session late. But is there a way I can like change the name of a stream? I'm gonna have to try and do this while we have that small break between the race and the session. Can I edit the stream name? This is not the World Enduro. Is it this? Please tell me it's this. Live dashboard's opening up. I have to enter an email. I may have goofed up. I may